There's a powerful shift brewing in the cosmic winds, one that promises to shake things up not gently, but boldly, unapologetically, and with a kind of intensity that wakes something deep inside you. It's not subtle, and it's not interested in playing small. Mars has officially re-entered the fiery magnetic sign of Leo. And this return marks far more than just another planetary transit. It marks the reawakening of your courage, your clarity, and your fire. This is a pivotal moment that will stir your inner world and challenge you to rise, to move, and to become what you've been holding back. Can you feel it? That subtle hum beneath the surface, the quiet knowing that something big has been trying to reach you. Maybe you've been sensing it for weeks, maybe even months, a gut feeling that you were on the edge of something. But then, nothing. Everything paused. The clarity dissolved. The energy dropped. That momentum you once had seemed to vanish into thin air. And yet, somewhere in the back of your heart, you knew it wasn't over. You knew it wasn't gone. It was just waiting. And now, that wait is over. Mars is back in Leo from April 18th through June 17th, 2025. And it's coming in hot. This isn't a reset. This is a continuation, a rekindling, a return to the fire that was never really extinguished, only banked for a while, waiting for the right moment to roar back to life. And that moment, my friend, is now. This isn't just some quirky twist in the astrological storyline. It's a deeply charged, divinely timed chapter meant to stir your soul awake. Mars, the planet of action, passion, desire, and raw willpower, is charging through Leo, the sign of boldness, courage, creativity, and visibility. When these two energies combine, it's like striking a match to dry timber, explosive, radiant, and impossible to ignore. It's an invitation to stop hiding, stop waiting, and stop doubting. The message is clear. You are meant to move now. This energy wants you to rise, not in a forced or artificial way, but from a deeply authentic place within you. Leo doesn't care if you're polished or perfect. Leo cares that you're real, that you're true to yourself, that you own your gifts and shine without apology. And Mars in Leo? That's the fuel to do it. That's the ignition of action behind the expression, the drive behind the dream, the flame behind your purpose. You might find yourself feeling more confident than you felt in months. Ideas that once felt overwhelming or far-fetched may suddenly feel accessible and aligned. That dream you shelved because the timing wasn't right, it's knocking again. And this time, it's not asking politely. This time, it's insisting. This isn't the moment to second-guess or shrink back. It's the moment to leap, to roar, to say yes to the version of yourself that's been waiting to emerge. But this kind of breakthrough doesn't come without a request from the universe. It's asking for something in return. And that something is courage. Not the loud, boastful kind of courage that's all talk and no heart, but the quiet, steady, soul-rooted kind of courage. The kind that trusts itself even when things aren't guaranteed. The kind that moves forward even when the path isn't perfectly clear. The kind that says, I know I was made for this, even if no one else understands why. The kind that listens to the fire in your belly and says, I'm ready. Take a moment right now to speak this into being. I am ready for the change that's coming my way. Whisper it, shout it, write it down, speak it with intention, drop it in the comments if you feel moved. It's not just for you, it's for the collective. When we speak our readiness into the world, we give the universe something to work with. We become participants in the transformation. We anchor it in. We keep the momentum flowing. So, let's get into the heart of what this Mars in Leo transit is really about, and why it's such a big deal, especially now. From November 3rd, 2024 to December 6th, 2024, Mars initially entered Leo, but quickly began its retrograde journey, backing into Cancer. That time likely felt like a detour, a cosmic slowdown that pulled you away from action and deeper into emotion. Cancer is a sign of vulnerability, family, healing, and emotional depth. Mars doesn't feel quite at home there. Instead of pushing forward, many of us found ourselves reflecting, recalibrating, and reevaluating our goals, motivations, and emotional wounds. It may have felt like walking through fog with no clear destination. During that retrograde phase, it's likely you encountered old fears or unresolved doubts. Maybe you questioned whether you were truly capable of what you'd set out to do. Maybe you withdrew, paused, or abandoned something you once believed in. It's okay. That wasn't failure. That was necessary. That was your soul's way of slowing down so you could reconnect to your deeper truth. You weren't being punished or blocked, you were being prepared. You were being asked to align your action with purpose, to reconnect to the why behind the what. And now that Mars has returned to Leo, it's picking up where it left off. But this time, with more clarity, more emotional intelligence, and more heart. This is your chance to revisit those dreams, decisions, or directions you were working on last year and breathe new life into them. To finish what you started, but from a wiser, more grounded place. This moment is also rare in the cosmic timeline. It mirrors a similar Mars cycle that took place between 1977 and 1988, when Mars also moved through Leo, retrograded into Cancer, and returned to Leo again. If you lived through that time, especially if you were a teen or adult, it's worth reflecting on what themes surfaced in your life then. What passions were awakening? What bold moves were you contemplating or making? What identity shifts were occurring for you? The universe might be bringing those themes full circle now, inviting you to revisit them with the maturity and insight you didn't have back then. And even if you weren't alive during that time, the energetic imprint of that cycle is being echoed now. There's something karmic about this moment, something sacred, something deeply personal. This is the kind of energy that supports bold declarations, fresh starts, and unapologetic self-expression. It's the kind of moment where people launch businesses, fall in love, speak their truth, step into leadership roles, or finally release the fear of being seen. It's the kind of energy that says, I'm not going to shrink anymore. I'm not going to wait for permission. I'm not going to let fear keep me from living. It's important to remember that Mars in Leo energy isn't about perfection. It's not about having all the answers or every step figured out. It's about trusting the spark. It's about knowing that you don't have to be fully ready to begin. You just have to be willing. Willing to act. Willing to try. Willing to believe in yourself enough to take that first step. You're not here to play small. You're not here to live a life half-lit. You're here to burn brightly, to create, to lead, and to inspire. Not by being flawless, but by being fearlessly yourself. Let this moment be a declaration, a turning point, a promise to yourself that you will no longer let hesitation dictate your destiny, that you will no longer wait for the perfect time, that you will show up now, boldly, with all your flaws and all your passion and all your truth. This is your cosmic green light. The delays are done. The fog has lifted. The momentum is back. So here's the invitation. Pick up the dream you put down. Say the thing you were afraid to say. Try the thing you thought you couldn't do. Let Mars in Leo push you past your edge and into your power. Because you're not just meant to survive this life. You're meant to live it boldly, joyfully, and fully lit from within. So go ahead, take the leap, trust the fire, Let this be the chapter where everything changes, because the stars are aligned. The moment is here. And you? You were born ready, for those who were too young to remember or weren't even born. The last time this celestial story unfolded, this moment may still feel oddly familiar. You might not have conscious memories tied to the past cycles, but something deeper inside of you will recognize this energy. It's as if the cosmos is humming a tune your soul has danced to before, a spiritual déjà vu rippling through the fabric of time and consciousness. Even if your logical mind can't place it, your inner self feels it in waves. This is more than a planetary movement. It's a karmic echo, an energetic rerun of a story that's both ancient and deeply personal. Astrology is built on cycles. What once began, perhaps lifetimes ago, perhaps years ago, in this very life, may now be reaching a turning point, a moment of culmination, a chance for resolution, transformation, or rebirth. This isn't about reliving the past. It's about completing it, evolving beyond it, or rising from its ashes. These transits invite us to reconnect with forgotten dreams, revisit old lessons, and reclaim parts of ourselves that got buried under the weight of time, conditioning, and fear. And now, here we are. Between mid-April and mid-June 2025, the universe hands you the pen and offers a blank page. The ink of the past has dried. What's done is done. You've reflected. You've wandered through confusion and hesitation. Maybe you've sat with discomfort longer than you wanted. Maybe the past months brought up old wounds or stirred emotional waters that blurred your sense of direction. But that fog is lifting. Mars has entered Leo, and with it comes fire, clarity, and a fierce invitation to act, not recklessly, but with soulful purpose. Mars in Leo is bold. It's unapologetic. It doesn't tiptoe or ask for permission. This energy says, stand tall, speak your truth, and stop waiting. It cuts through doubt with the precision of a flame, burning away excuses and illuminating the path ahead. And that path? It's not paved by anyone else's expectations. It's uniquely yours, crafted by your desires, your voice, your vision. So if there's something you've been hesitating to start, whether it's a creative project, a relationship decision, a move, a conversation, or a leap of faith, this is your window. The cosmos is opening a door, and you're the only one who can walk through it. There's a golden light behind that door. A possibility that was always meant for you, but perhaps you needed to grow into the version of yourself that's ready to claim it. And here's what's different this time. You're not operating from fear anymore. You're not driven by scarcity or the need to prove yourself. You're no longer trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. You're acting from clarity, from alignment, from the deep knowing that what you feel called to do is not only valid, it's sacred. That dream you've been carrying, it's not random. It's encoded into your soul's blueprint. And now, it's time to bring it to life. There's a new kind of courage rising within you. One that doesn't need external validation. One that's rooted in authenticity and trust. The thing that once felt too big, too bold, too unrealistic, suddenly it feels natural. The resistance starts to dissolve. The pieces start falling into place. You might find yourself waking up with a renewed sense of purpose, or feeling a surge of inspiration when you least expect it. That's Mars in Leo, working its magic, reminding you that you were never meant to play small. This cosmic current is building. It's gaining momentum, and it's pulling you toward a version of yourself that you've only glimpsed in dreams or fleeting moments of bravery. Personally, professionally, spiritually. Everything is in motion, but you don't have to force it. You don't need to push or struggle. Instead, allow yourself to be carried by this wave. Swim with it. Trust it. Let your natural gifts lead the way. There's something incredibly liberating about realizing that the world actually needs your fire. Your voice, your ideas, your leadership, your expression. These are not indulgences. They are your medicine. And when you show up fully, without shrinking or censoring yourself, you give others permission to do the same. That's the deeper message of Mars in Leo. It's not about ego, it's about embodiment. It's about shining because you are the light, not because you want to be seen. And yes, the conditions may not be perfect, they rarely are. But this is not a time to wait for perfection. This is a time to trust your gut, follow the spark, and let your intuition take the lead. If your heart is aligned with your vision, the universe will support you. Maybe not instantly, maybe not always in the ways you expect, but the support will come through synchronicities, through unexpected allies, through moments of grace that remind you you're on the right path. Remember, Mars in Leo doesn't play small. It doesn't apologize for its passion. It moves with confidence and leads with heart. It's your cosmic permission slip to do the same. You weren't made to dim your light. You were made to blaze trails, to awaken joy, to infuse your work, your relationships, your art, and your life with the kind of energy that makes others believe in themselves again. This is a pivotal time, a portal of momentum, possibility, and transformation. And if you're willing to answer the call, you may find yourself shifting timelines, stepping into a future that feels more expansive, more aligned, and more you than anything you've known before. But it begins with one brave step, one act of faith, one moment where you decide to stop holding back. And there's another layer to this. Astrology is not one size fits all. The way Mars in Leo shows up in your life depends on your birth chart. Specifically, which area of your chart is ruled by Leo. Each zodiac sign governs a different house, and each house represents a different area of life. Your rising sign, or ascendant, determines which sign rules each house in your personal chart. That's why understanding your rising sign is so important. It reveals where this Mars in Leo energy is activating and amplifying. For example, if Leo rules your 10th house, the area of career, public reputation, and legacy, you might feel an irresistible push to step up professionally. A promotion, a bold career shift, launching your own business, or stepping into a public-facing role could be on the horizon. You may find yourself finally owning your worth in the workplace, letting go of roles that diminish your light, and stepping into leadership with confidence. If Leo governs your 7th house, this Mars transit may shine its light on your relationships. You could be navigating significant shifts, breaking old patterns, setting new boundaries, or calling in deeper connection. It might bring up tension that leads to breakthrough, or it may inspire passion, movement, and new beginnings in both romantic and professional partnerships. If Leo rules your 2nd house, your relationship with money and self-worth is center stage. You may feel called to take a financial risk, ask for what you deserve, or create something that reflects your true value. This is not just about income, it's about alignment, about building a life rooted in worthiness, where you no longer settle for crumbs in any area. No matter where Leo falls in your chart, Mars is here to wake you up, to energize, to catalyze, to remind you that you're allowed to want more and go after it. But first, find your rising sign. This will give you the clearest insight into which area of your life is being activated now. Your sun sign tells the story of your identity. Your moon sign reveals your emotional world. But your rising sign is the doorway. It shapes how you move through the world and how the world responds to you. It sets the tone for your entire birth chart. And it's the key to understanding where this fiery Leo energy is calling you to rise. So as you move through these weeks, tune into your body. Pay attention to the whispers of your intuition. Notice where you feel lit up, excited, or deeply drawn. That's your soul saying, yes, this is the way. Let the fire of Mars in Leo guide you, not as a reckless blaze, but as a sacred flame. A fire that illuminates your truth, burns away what no longer serves, and warms the space for something new to be born. You don't need to know exactly how it will all unfold. You just need to begin with courage, with honesty, with heart. Write that email, have that conversation, launch the thing, speak the truth, take the risk. The universe is co-creating with you now, not pushing you, but inviting you. The rest of the story is yours to write. When Mars moves through Leo, the cosmic stage lights up with a very particular kind of energy. Fiery, bold, expressive, and deeply heart-centered. It's not just that Mars, the planet of action, drive, and passion, is being filtered through the flamboyant, self-assured lens of Leo. It's that this union activates something primal in us, something raw and radiant, a desire to be seen, not in a performative sense, but in a soul-deep way that affirms who we are at the core. This transit invites us to not just act, but to act with courage, authenticity, and unshakable self-worth. And while your sun and moon signs definitely play a role in how you'll feel and experience this energetic wave, it's your rising sign that acts as the true compass. Your ascendant sets the tone for your entire natal chart. It determines the placement of your houses, the symbolic areas of life. So, when Mars makes its journey through Leo, it's your rising sign that shows you exactly where that burst of energy will land, manifest, and transform. Let's say you're a Taurus rising. With Leo ruling your fourth house, the foundation of your life, your roots, your family ties, and your emotional inner world, Mars entering Leo could stir up a need to reestablish a sense of safety and sovereignty in your home. You might feel a sudden urge to move, renovate, or confront long-standing family dynamics that no longer serve your growth. There may be an inner fire pushing you to reclaim your space, both physically and emotionally. It's not just about aesthetics or logistics. It's about building a sanctuary that reflects who you are now, not who you used to be. For a Scorpio rising, Mars in Leo shines directly into the 10th house, the realm of career, ambition, visibility, and public legacy. Suddenly there's a sense that it's time to take up space, to be seen and recognized for the unique gifts you bring to the world. Whether that means applying for a leadership position, launching a personal brand, or simply deciding to no longer downplay your brilliance, this is a moment to rise, to let your passion and purpose fuel bold, decisive action, and to stop waiting for permission to shine. Of course, your sun and moon signs add color and texture to the overall experience. Your sun sign reveals overarching themes, what kind of growth and evolution your soul is craving right now. Your moon, on the other hand, speaks to your inner world, how this shift might feel, what fears or excitements it may stir up, and where your heart wants to lead you. But for truly grounded, personalized insight, especially when it comes to taking action, your rising sign is the place to start. Think of it like checking your GPS before a long drive. You can always trust your intuition along the way, take spontaneous turns, and explore new roads. But having that map, the guidance of your ascendant, makes the journey so much more focused and empowering. The thing about Mars and Leo is that it doesn't just light a fire under your feet. it lights a fire in your soul. This isn't the kind of drive that's purely about productivity or hustle. It's about purpose. Leo, after all, is ruled by the sun, our brightest star, the source of life, vitality, and radiant self-expression. When Mars, the cosmic warrior, partners with the sun's sign, we're not just encouraged to act, we're called to act from the heart. This transit marks a period where heart-led confidence begins to rise from within. Not the kind of confidence that's loud for the sake of being loud. Not the showy, ego-driven kind, but the kind that's quiet, grounded, and rooted in self-awareness. The kind that knows without question, this is who I am. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about finally letting yourself be who you've always been. Without apology, without shrinking, without pretending. That's the invitation, to stop holding back, to stop dimming your light because of fear, conditioning, or self-doubt. Mars in Leo doesn't tolerate smallness. It calls for boldness, not recklessness, but courageous alignment. This energy doesn't ask you to meet society's expectations, or anyone else's for that matter. In fact, it asks you to strip those layers away. It challenges you to let go of the pressure to fit in, and instead to lead from your uniqueness, to own your quirks, your passions, your voice. Whether that leads you to start a new creative project, finally speak your truth in a key relationship, step into a leadership role, or take a big leap toward a dream. This is about becoming fully yourself in the world. And when you do that, when you align your actions with your truth, you start to radiate in a way that's impossible to ignore. The universe meets you there. It responds to your authenticity with momentum, opportunities, and affirmation. Mars in Leo is your green light. It's the universe whispering, now, go, be who you came here to be. But let's be clear, this transit isn't just about the big external wins. Sure, it might bring career breakthroughs, recognition, or passion-fueled beginnings, but some of the deepest shifts will be internal. Mars in Leo has a way of awakening something within you that may have been sleeping, a part of you that has grown tired of playing it safe. This period isn't just about doing more. It's about becoming more of who you truly are, more expressive, more embodied, more aligned. Leo energy rules personal power, authenticity, and creative leadership. When Mars moves through this sign, it's like receiving a cosmic wake-up call. You might suddenly see where you've been holding back, where you've been stuck in roles that no longer fit, where you've been dimming your light to make others more comfortable. That awareness can be uncomfortable at first, but it's also liberating, because once you see it, you can choose something different. You can choose yourself. This season might also bring a deep desire to break free from patterns, relationships, or mindsets that are no longer in integrity with your truth. You might find the courage to have difficult conversations, to walk away from something that's drained your light, or to finally commit to a path that's been calling your name for years. These choices are not always easy, but they're sacred. They are rites of passage into a more aligned, empowered version of yourself. There may be moments of fiery passion, yes, but also moments of reckoning, of asking yourself, what do I truly want? And what am I no longer willing to tolerate? Mars in Leo doesn't want you to settle. It wants you to roar, to reclaim your voice, your desires, and your sense of direction. Even if you're not sure how it's all going to unfold, the energy is here to help you take the first bold step. And remember, Mars is about action, but not reaction. There's a difference. This transit teaches you to respond from your truth, not your triggers, to move with intention, not impulse. So before making any big changes, give yourself a moment of stillness. Drop into your heart. Ask, what feels most aligned? What would I do if I believed I was worthy, ready, and supported? Because you are. The energy is on your side. The path is clearing. Also, don't underestimate the creative potential of this time. Leo is the sign of the performer, the artist, the visionary. When Mars fuels this space, you might feel a sudden flood of ideas, a need to create just for the joy of it, or a pull to express yourself in ways you've never dared before. Write, dance, paint, design, speak. Whatever your medium, give yourself permission to play. There's deep healing and transformation available through joyful creation. Above all, let this be a time of self-honoring. Let it be a chapter where you decide that your voice matters, that your truth is enough, that your presence is valuable. Mars in Leo reminds you that you don't need to become louder, more impressive, or more perfect. You just need to become more you, the kind of you that radiates from within. If you've been feeling that gentle nudge in your spirit lately, like something inside you is slowly building, rising, ready to burst through the surface, you're not alone. There's a fire being lit beneath many of us right now, and if fear or self-doubt has kept you standing still for far too long, this energy is calling to you in no uncertain terms. It's time to rise. Mars in Leo arrives like a clarion call for courage. It comes not to overwhelm you, but to awaken something dormant inside, a deeper level of confidence, a radiant spark that may have been quietly waiting for your permission to shine. This isn't about bravado or surface-level swagger. This is about reclaiming your presence in the world with grace, with heart, and with the kind of quiet power that doesn't need to shout to be felt. Mars in Leo brings the strength of a lion, yes, but also the warmth of the sun. Its essence is both bold and nurturing, encouraging you to lead, not through force, but through love. And that's a kind of leadership the world is deeply craving right now. One rooted in authenticity, not ego. One that says, I know who I am, and I believe in what I carry. If you've been hesitating to step into something new, be it a creative project, a deeper relationship, a bold career move, or simply a more authentic way of being, this is your cosmic invitation to stop playing small. The truth is, you were never meant to shrink to fit spaces that weren't designed for your spirit. And Mars in Leo isn't here to let you forget that. It wants to help you peel away the layers of doubt that have settled over your light. It wants to remind you that you're here to take up space. Not just any space, but the kind that feels like home to your soul. You don't have to roar to make an impact. Transformation doesn't always come wrapped in grand gestures or dramatic shifts. Sometimes, the most powerful changes happen in silence. In those moments, when you simply say yes to yourself. When you choose to listen to your inner voice, even when it whispers. When you honor your path, even if it looks different from the ones others are walking. That's the quiet kind of courage Mars in Leo speaks to. The bravery to follow what truly lights you up inside, even when the way forward feels uncertain. And maybe you're already feeling it, that subtle but unmistakable rise of energy inside, like a low hum of anticipation that something is about to change. That's your soul responding to the call. Don't ignore it. That heat, that stirring, that deep desire to break free, that's your truth coming alive. It's the part of you that remembers who you really are. Beyond the noise, beyond the fear, beyond the limitations others have tried to place on you. Lean into it. Let it carry you forward. Let it guide your steps, not with urgency, but with clarity. Because when you move from a place of heart, everything that follows is infused with something real. Purpose, passion and power that isn't performative but deeply true. That's when magic starts to unfold. That's when the universe seems to open doors you didn't even see before. That's when the pieces start to come together in ways that feel divinely orchestrated. Not because you forced them to, but because you finally aligned with who you really are. This moment is not about becoming something new. It's about remembering. Remembering the parts of you that you may have buried or dimmed to make others more comfortable. It's about reclaiming the pieces of yourself that have been waiting to be seen and honored. Mars in Leo is here to illuminate your individuality, not as something to hide or be modest about, but as a sacred gift to be expressed. You're not here to blend in. You are here to shine, to inspire, and to lead by example, by being fully, unapologetically you. And no, it won't always feel easy. Sometimes owning your truth means facing the discomfort of old stories that no longer serve you. It might mean releasing relationships, environments, or habits that have kept you stuck. It might mean standing in your power, even when others don't understand your path. But here's what's important. You're not doing it alone. The energy around you is supporting this shift. The universe is making space for you to rise. All you need to do is meet it halfway, with intention, with trust, and with a willingness to take that first brave step. This is a powerful time for transformation. Not just external change, but internal alignment. The kind that redefines how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of. You might begin to notice new ideas bubbling to the surface, creative inspirations that feel soul-driven, or talents you had forgotten rising again with a sense of purpose. Don't brush them off. These are the clues. These are the breadcrumbs your soul has left you, pointing the way towards something more aligned, more meaningful, and more free. Let this energy give you the courage to face whatever has been holding you back, not with fear, but why? Let this energy give you the courage to face whatever has been holding you back, not with fear, but with curiosity. What would happen if you stopped assuming the worst and started believing in the best-case scenario? What would your life look like if you approached it with the belief that you are worthy of joy, success, love, and freedom? Not someday, but now. Mars in Leo doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be bold. It asks you to be honest. And it asks you to act in alignment with your truth. Remember, the power to shift your life doesn't lie in some distant future. It's not locked behind someone else's permission. It lives inside you, right here, right now. You are the author of your story. You are the creator of your path. And you have everything you need to make meaningful, lasting change. The courage, the wisdom, the drive. It's already within you. Mars in Leo simply turns up the volume on what's been waiting patiently in your heart. So, take the step. Make the move. Say the thing you've been afraid to say. Do the thing you've been waiting to do. Not recklessly, but with reverence, with intention, with the knowledge that you are supported every step of the way. The universe is not testing you, it's encouraging you. It's whispering, yes, this way. Keep going. You're doing beautifully. And as you move forward, notice how the world begins to reflect that energy back to you. How synchronicities show up more often. How aligned people cross your path. How things that once felt hard begin to feel lighter. That's not coincidence. That's what happens when you're living in alignment with your truth. The outer world starts to mirror the inner shift. And it all begins with that decision to trust yourself, to believe in your worth, and to move from the heart. You were never meant to dim your light. You were never meant to play small or live a life that feels half alive. You are here to shine fully, to love deeply, and to create boldly. Mars in Leo reminds you of this. It brings the heat, yes, but it also brings the heart. It says, let yourself be seen. Let yourself be heard. Let yourself be known. Not for who you think you should be, but for who you already are. So if this message speaks to you, if something in you is waking up and saying yes, honor that. Let it move you. Let it inspire your next step. And know that you are never alone in this process. The universe is walking with you, cheering you on, arranging support in the most unexpected ways. Believe in that. Believe in your path. And most of all, believe in yourself. You are capable of more than you know. You are more powerful than you've been led to believe. And this moment, this fire, this energy, this awakening is your invitation to rise, to take your place, to lead with love, and to create a life that feels as expansive, authentic, and beautiful as the truth within you. Keep going. Keep shining. Your light is not just wanted, it's needed. If these words resonate with you, feel free to share your reflections in the comments. And if you're looking for more inspiration to stay aligned with your purpose, subscribe to Sacred Promises, where we journey together, heart first, into the life we were always meant to live. You've got this. The universe has your back, and your soul already knows the way. Let the fire lead. Let love lead. Let you lead.